My name's Helen Davenport and I teach on the BA Primary on the Didsbury campus. Journal Club is a part of the session that we have dedicated at the end of the last 15 minutes and spilling into lunchtime, where I've invited students to read a journal that I have set the week before and to come and discuss their thoughts and ideas and the things that they've taken from it. But it's very much an optional activity, and I found that's worked really well because the opt-in device has conversely made more students do the reading than they would have done previously. Which is where this idea was conceived really, because I kept asking my students to do a reading for the following week, and when I would turn up and expect everyone to have read the article and be very, very keen, I'd noticed that some students had got a journal that was highlighted with all sorts of notes and they'd really engaged with it, whereas probably a good half of the group hadn't read it or were pretending that they'd read it, so the discussion that we would have after that always felt quite strained. So this year I decided to have this section at the end, that it was their decision to come, and gave them a little bit of ownership over it for themselves really. And it was left by the end of term with about 20 students out of a group of 30 that have regularly attended Journal Club and engaged with it. Now that I've come to the end of term and I'm reflecting on what the students have taken from the Journal Club, and I've been asking them as we've gone along what they've taken from it, there's lots of layers really. First, and in quite a technical sense, it's given the students the confidence to actually access journals online and just know what a journal looks like and how to navigate it and how to search for a journal and to find the journals that they're interested in. Quite often when I've been talking to them, they feel that that's a big achievement, that they can access journals now and they're not intimidated by that anymore. But on a deeper level than that, I think it's allowed them to access journals on an intellectual level as well. I keep getting this sense that academia, writing and the text that I was asking them to read was beyond them and it was part of a world that they weren't involved in. Whereas now I feel they've kind of crossed that divide, and these journals that we're reading, they very much see themselves as part of the academic community, and that those journals are there to help them in terms of developing theory and pedagogy and practice, and it's something that is definitely for them, and that their opinions and their ideas about those articles are just as valid, whereas I don't think they felt that in the beginning, and that's been a real kind of learning moment for me as well. Discussing their ideas with others and with me there as someone to kind of keep that discussion going has allowed them to consider the article from multiple perspectives, which in turn has made them feel more confident in developing their criticality, which is something that kept coming back in assignments that they were struggling to do. Whereas now, what I hear from them is when they're reading that article, they're thinking about how they're perceiving it, but also thinking of different perspectives or different facets of the argument, and I feel that that's been a real kind of crux of the learning really, and something that I've taken from it. One of the features of Journal Club is that when I set the article, I go very much on a title that I found interesting but that I haven't read it either. So it's very much this feeling that we're all in it together, and whilst they're busy reading it, that I'm going to read it. And I've done that really so that there isn't this feeling that I'm an expert owner of that text and that I know it well and that their opinions will differ from mine, and that there's this, I've tried to kind of erode the power dynamic there, that we are kind of all coming at this fresh and new, and they may well think of things that I haven't thought of. But what I do when I read the text before I meet up with them for the session is I do kind of flag up things that I think might be a useful launch to get the conversation going. And I try to make sure that when we're having that discussion we pick on aspects of the text that I think they may have found challenging. So I try and make sure that if there are theoretical aspects in there that may have that they may still be unsure with, that we actually look at that and turn it on its head a little bit and say, okay, what this theoretical framework, well, that came up 2 weeks ago in that journal, and what kind of lens is that making us look through this article? So I think that's my role, is there to support with some of the more challenging aspects and also to provoke discussion. And something that I've tried to do, which has been my own personal focus, is to be quiet and to allow them to sustain the conversation, making this an optional activity, which I've had to think carefully about use of time and what happens with those students who opt not to do it, but it's really worked for me, has actually made my students engage with that more. It feels like a really contrary thing, but giving them that ownership has worked really well for me. I think it's about inviting my students to be part of an academic community and for them to feel that world of academic journal writing is a world that they are part of as well, and for helping them to find the steps up to being able to access that and feeling like they have got a voice, because they do. And I think it's been really empowering for them to find that they have that, and that their perspectives and their opinions on things are great. And one of the best moments we had in Journal Club was where unanimously we decided we didn't really like this article because we felt that there was a very negative vibe running through, and that it's okay to say that, and it's okay for you to have those views on the things that you read, and it's okay for your views to be different from somebody else's. So I think, inviting your students to become part of that and to stop them from being intimidated by it was my big aim, and I do feel that it has done that.
Yeah, it's given me confidence to access journals which before the Journal Club I wouldn't have felt comfortable doing. I didn't feel I was academic enough. I felt that I wouldn't be able to understand them, but by coming here and then discussing what I got from the journal, it was similar to other people, which I didn't think would be the case. So it's given me more confidence to access journals which I could then use in my assignment.
Yeah, I liked it because I always struggled when I read the journals that I never understood. I understood points, but I never understood the whole of it properly. Whereas when I've come here, I've been able to see other people's viewpoints, and I could relate it back to the thing, so I'd gain more understanding of the journal.
I think as well, by coming and listening to everyone else's opinions on it, it helps you have more of an open mind, because you kind of read it, make your opinion on it and think, right, that is it, that's what it's about. Yeah. And then you think about things that, I hadn't actually thought about that.
Yeah, you get
so it helps.
Ideas.
It's really good.
You can find more films and podcasts on our website. Go to celt.mmu.ac.uk/good practice. Thanks for watching.